Hello everybody and welcome back to a series announcement, Deckgame, as you probably saw in the title. The idea is simple. I basically steal Firestarter's idea of the bad deck challenge and give it a little twist, and maybe some longevity as well, depending on how it'll work out, or if it'll work out. The idea is I'll take a bad deck that you guys sent in, and I played ranked with the deck, and after each win, or each game, I don't know yet, I will adjust or change one unit. And then I play it again, and so on and so on. Now, of course, I don't want you to send in like some meme decks where it's like, haha, infantry tab is full of man pads, XD, very funny. Or, hi, you have 4 cards of ops and only 1 card of CVs that consists of 2 tanks. That isn't very fun for either you or me, except for like maybe the first 2 games. So the decks should be bad, but not because of the lack of options, right? So I want to have like a decent amount of decent amount of CVs. I want some supply, but I obviously, and for logistic is probably a bad example. But in the infantry tab, for example, I want to have units that are either bad but not worthless, and / or units that are maybe also just underutilized. For example, maybe some assault pioneers in a minigun, but like I said, not 5 cards of man pads, right? So maybe like, assault pioneers in a minigun, some panthers, and I don't know, the puma. That's a Milan 1 in the puma. What else do we have? Some fusiliers in the warrior, stuff like that. Although this might already be too good, depending on what you look at, the way you look at it, etc., etc. So the deck should be bad, but not because of lack of choices, right? So it should be bad because I have no AA. It should be bad because my AA isn't very good or very consistent or awkward to use, stuff like that. But I should still have AA. Same with tanks and ways to deal with heavy tanks, right? It doesn't have to have a super heavy by any means, but it should have some usable ways to deal with heavy tanks should I have to. Again, I don't want you to put in stuff like Kurnas or Hornet, but I think you get the gist. And then, of course, you should use up all activation points ideally. And also, very important, it should probably be at least a coalition, maybe even a mixed deck. Because if you take a look at, I don't know, France, right? Or like West Germany is maybe even easier. Like, sure, you could fill the tank tab with 4 cards and 48s, but it kind of, again, somewhat goes against the spirit, in my opinion. So it makes it very easy to like put in some decent units or some good units, even simply because you don't have a lot of choice, right? So the deck that you choose should already have a lot of choice available, meaning it should have a lot of room and ways to improve. Because ideally, I also just don't want to play the deck until I have exactly a copy of my decks, but maybe give the deck some sort of spirit, some certain play style, and then have me thus adjust to it and maybe also put in or change units in the deck that reflected playstyle, if that makes any sense. And it also kind of means that ideally also know like support decks or airborne decks. I trust that you find some decks. The basic idea that I thought was take a deck from a noob who kind of is like, oh, I can't just put only manpads in an infantry tab, right? But most likely will make some bad choices. But then again, who really is a noob? And maybe some noob just if I look at a random noob and say to him, hey, can you send me a deck? Then maybe he'll have a deck sent in from a friend or a deck he saw on YouTube, whatever. So I think this way that I'll do it makes it a bit easier. And yeah, I think that's really all there is to say. There's gonna be a Google form in the description or in the comments where you can send in a deck or multiple deck codes as well. You should be able to edit your response. It's gonna take at least a week until you see the first video of this, so you have a lot of time. And I think that's it. I think it's gonna be an interesting idea. Maybe it's not really gonna work out, but I might as well try something. yeah, send in those decks, and I'll see you then.